was a partier, I was a drinker, I was into drugs and stuff. When I locked in and went in there, the recruiter, and he was like, I need to put you through a PT test. I think I did like 15 push-ups. He had me run a 2-mile, and I think it took me like 24 minutes, and I threw up like 3 or 4 times. It was bad. I was in bad shape. They're like, if you want to get promoted, you have to be able to pass the PT test. So dude, every day I ran. I worked on push-ups, and I just did that consistently every single day. I did pass my PT test. I got promoted to the PB2. Went to basic, was actually like the fastest kid there.
Jon, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. We've, I don't know, we've been trying to get something set up for like a year, just different schedules and crazy. Now, and then I was able to see you at the bodybuilding show here in Boise, and one thing worked out. Yeah, it was sweet, good timing, and all that good stuff, man. We have a lot to catch up on. Yeah. You were one of the interesting things you were telling me was like that there's a shortage with protein right now, which is the crazy thing. I never even thought was a thing,
dude. Yeah. So, and a lot of people aren't aware of that, but I mean, it's been coming. It's out there. They've talked about it in the news, but a lot of people aren't aware. And it's like we're seeing a lot of people with like sticker shock when they're looking at like new pricing and stuff like that. Like even we're in sticker shock. So to be like transparent with you, I think 2 years ago, like a 2-pound jug of protein would cost us $18. And so you mark it up, you have like 50-60% margin. So we'd sell it for $42. We're good. Now our cost, like my cost to have it made, buying in bulk, is $38 a jug for protein. So it's over doubled in 2 years. So, and it sucks because it's all, all these people on GLP-1s, like, Ozempic or retatrutide or whatever, doctors are, telling them, hey, you got to go buy protein because that's the biggest thing. Like even I'm on retatrutide and I've lost like 40 pounds in 4 months. And it's difficult to get your protein in through your intake because you're just not hungry. So first thing in the morning, I take 2 scoops of protein right off the bat, just so I can get 50 grams in me. And it kind of helps me, set myself up to where I can get my protein macros in for the day.
Yeah.
So you got that in combination with like Starbucks. Starbucks entered the protein market. So now they have their protein coffee or protein foam. I forget what they call it. But, and that's become huge. And there's a Starbucks on every corner in America. So they're taking up a huge consumption of the allotment of protein that can be made. And all the other coffee companies are following suit and they're chasing Starbucks with their protein coffee. And so the demand's just super high and there's just not enough supply to where they're just jacking up the prices on protein.
Yeah, you see that even in like all the grocery stores too, like just like Pop-Tarts got like protein Pop-Tarts and like Cheerios protein and like all these different things. They just slap protein on there, which I'm sure they're not putting a crap ton of protein in it, but enough of that on the market with huge mass numbers being produced. Then
you see that because like even the government, I don't know if they were given funding or what, but they made that huge, shift in like the nutrition and like the big push for protein and saying like they want more protein out there. And so all companies are making more protein products. Like I said, I don't know if there's some sort of break they get from the government by coming up with these new protein ideas, but it's just been wild. So you got that mixed with the combination of like just supplements in general under a lot of scrutiny.
That's crazy. Well, dude, I want to hop into your story and like what your background is and everything. And, I know you got a military experience and I want to hop into all that. So where are you from, dude?
Montana. Yeah. Originally. Yeah.
Right on. What part of Montana?
Billings.
Okay.
Yeah. The bad side.
Is it? I don't know much about
horrible.
Montana, but
so people are always like, oh, you're from Montana. It's beautiful there. And like there are like Missoula, Bozeman, there's beautiful areas of Montana that are like up in the mountains and stuff, real beautiful. Billings is like just nothing but flat land and oil refineries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's real shitty.
Yeah,
I couldn't wait to get out of there.
I always wanted to go to Montana.
Yeah, dude. If you go to the west side, that's where Missoula and Bozeman is. The east side over there by North Dakota,
Oh, okay.
It's garbage. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So as soon as I turned 18, I got the hell out of there and got the hell out of there.
Yeah. What was it like growing up there as a kid? Were you like into sports and all that good stuff or what?
I was. I was into sports, but then I got more into drugs and
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So like sports was great, but I think I just got connected with the wrong crowd there and, started going down a bad path. And that's another reason why it was great to get out. Like when I go back to Billings, I'm sure like some people might be able to relate to it, but I get like anxiety going back there every time, even now. Like went to go see my parents a couple months ago, and it's like I hate being there.
Yeah.
Just the memories and like the people, and like you run into somebody from back in the day, and they haven't done anything with their lives, and in and out of prison and stuff. It's like, man, you know,
Yeah, isn't it crazy how most people don't even get out of their small environment? Like,
yeah,
there's some people that have never even left Nampa. I had a guy on the podcast where he works with the kid, like troubled youth at Breaking Chains,
mm-hmm.
and he just took a kid to downtown Nampa, and he had never even been to downtown Nampa, thought it was the wildest thing. So then, and he lives in Nampa, he's just never gone across the bridge. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, so he took him to downtown Boise, and he was thinking that like the state capitol was the White House, and like just never even got out of an area, and like
What?
yeah, like a high school
Wow.
kid,
Yeah.
but they were just like in that gang life where they just stuck to their neighborhood, and
Yeah,
so I
all
mean
they
that's on a
know.
really niche small market, but yeah, most people wouldn't ever even leave Boise or the Treasure Valley,
Yeah.
and then they never get to explore.
Yeah.
Because I was just talking to someone too that was from Twin Falls, and they were like, yeah, it's just a bunch of drugs down there, and so the only thing that helped them get off of it was moving up to Boise, like getting out of that whole
Getting out of
environment.
it. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see that 100%. Yeah.
yeah. So when you turned 18, then you wanted just to get out of there. Is that when you went and joined the military, or?
No, no, I actually joined the military way late in life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So I moved, when I turned 18, I moved down to Texas, and I got into sales, and I was doing real good for my age. But again, down there, I was still doing like drugs and drinking all the time and stuff like that. I was a young kid making good money. So it's like I got away from the environment and the people in the environment, but I don't even want to call it addiction. I guess maybe that lifestyle kind of just followed with me. And um, so, yeah, so I was down in Texas doing that. And then I got real homesick and moved back because, you're young, you separate from your parents. Because I grew up, I had great parents. Like, they're amazing parents. They were great, like, role models.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't their fault. I just got mixed in with a bad crowd, So
Yeah.
I ended up missing my family, moved back, got a sales job in Montana, was doing well with that too. Ended up moving, I actually moved out here to Boise with that sales job. And again, like the drugs and alcohol kind of followed me here. And, but I was crushing it like in my sales role. So it's almost like I was living this double life,
Yeah.
working hard during the day, making real good money. And at night I was just partying my ass off, just being wild, out of control, but I was also young. And then, I moved around with this job because I was really good at it, and they kept sending me into different markets. And then during the housing crash, when was that? 2008?
2008. Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up losing my job, lost my house, and I had all these toys because of how much money I was making. I like lost all of it. So like I had to like start over, and I realized my life was a mess. Like I was doing drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. And it's like I was interviewing with all these other companies, and I was like, man, I'm going to be in the same, if I keep jumping around and doing sales, like I have these bad habits that are following me. It doesn't break that chain. It doesn't break that cycle. And plus I didn't feel like I was doing anything important in life. And that's when I joined the military. I was like, I got to do something with my life. And like 9/11 had occurred years before that, but I always felt like maybe that's why I was into drugs and alcohol, because I didn't feel like I had any meaning or any purpose. And so I went down to the recruiter station. I was like, hey, I really want to do this. And he was like, oh yeah, we can get you into like military intelligence. We can get you into this. We can get you into that. And I was like, no, I want to go fight. Like I want to be infantry,
Mm-hmm.
And my wife at the time was like, hell no, you're not doing that. And so they were like, hey, why don't you become a cannon crew member? You could be artillery. They're like, they're far enough away from the action. They shoot into the action. And I was like, all right, I guess, join the military. And then come to find out, like after I made it to my duty station, like we weren't firing a whole lot of artillery because of the rules of engagement and stuff like that. So they had us do dismounted patrols. So I got to do what I wanted to do, rucking up and down mountains looking for bad guys. And it was amazing. But that, I feel like that's why a lot of like my life now though, because the military really did like get me away from the drugs, the alcohol, that party lifestyle. And it really changed my mentality about like, I think just monetary things and like relationships and life in general. I had a lot of like life altering or life course changing things happen during the military that just helped make me become a better man.
Which branch did you go into?
The Army.
The Army?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What was your experience like first time going to basic training?
Well, dude, it was wild because I remember I went and so, like I said, I was a partier, I was a drinker, I was into drugs and stuff. So but I'm also like a very motivated individual. I'm very determined. So when I locked in and went in there to the recruiter, he was like, all right, we had all these things figured out. And he was like, I need to put you through a PT test. And so they had me, I think I did like maybe 15 push-ups.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not, and then he had me run a 2-mile. And I think it took me like 24 minutes and I threw up like 3 or 4 times. It was bad. I was in bad shape. And they're like, hey, they're like, if you want to get promoted, you have to be able to pass the PT test or else you're going to go in as a PB1, like basically a fuzzy. You don't have any rank on you, right? He's like, you're going to go in as a fuzzy. And he's like, I don't recommend that. And so, dude, every day I ran, I worked on push-ups. And I just did that consistently every single day. It's like, I got to pass this PT test. And before I made it to basic, I did pass my PT test. I got promoted to the PB2, right? And went to basic and was actually like the fastest kid there at basic.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So it was like, dude, I remember because when we first got to basic, you had to run 1 mile. They didn't give you the full 2, but you had to run 1 mile. And I did the 1 mile in like 6 minutes, 2 seconds. And yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I was the fastest dude in my basic training class.
What was your training like looking up before you went to basic? Like, were you just
running
every day?
Every day. And so I found this great program. I don't remember whose program it was, but it was a lot of like interval sprints. And like that helped build up your lungs and your leg strength, but a lot of interval strengths. And then you'd have days where it would be longer runs. So you'd flip flop. But I feel like the interval sprints, like anytime after going into the military, if I had guys that were slow at running, that's what I'd make them do, like last man ups or hill sprints, stuff like that. That's great for like building your lung capacity and like your leg strength. I don't want to call it leg strength, leg endurance, but that, and then mixing in like the slower pace, like longer, being able to do like a very slow, even if you're starting off like 11-minute mile pace, but you're just keeping that slow, steady pace. To get your distance in. Combination of that was great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really impressive to go from a 24-minute 2 mile to a 6-minute mile.
I was delayed entry though, so I couldn't I couldn't go to basic training after I signed. I think it was like 3 or 4 months. So I had 4 months before I could go to basic. And so, but all that time I spent.
Still a lot of determination to get better.
Oh yeah.
Like, especially
well, it's like he said, it's like, I don't want to go into basic and be in a PB1. Like you're at the like lowest chain, the lowest of the low. And so it's like, I got to get my PB2, and I was determined and went after it. And then even after reaching my first duty station, like I was consistently, like in the Army, you can get an APFT badge. Like if you can max out your PT score, you get a little badge that you put on your PT uniform.
Nice.
Consistently got that. Yeah.
And what year were you going through Army?
So that was 2009.
Okay. Yeah, you said right after the crashing market, yeah.
2009, and that was difficult because I had a 2-year-old daughter at the time, and so I had to separate from her, and it was difficult, like leaving her behind. And but it was totally worth it. It was life changing for me.
Yeah, it sounds like you got your habits on track. Then you weren't got rid of your vices, and that's cool because a lot of times I hear two people like pick up drinking from the military, so it went opposite for you.
Well, no, I mean that part's kind of come back, and I'm working through that. But like, there's definitely no, and it's true. Like, I after you deploy to Afghanistan a couple times, and like I have PTSD, I have anxiety and stuff, and you tend to self-medicate, right? And for me, it's like, I'm not hardcore into drinking. Like I wouldn't consider myself alcoholic, but definitely there's nights where it's like I have to have a drink to help. Like it feels like it helps calm me down, level me out. But Yeah, I'm not getting blackout drunk like I was before joining
Right.
the military. But it sucks, man, because I've seen guys go through that, and it's something that I struggled with. I tried to understand the mentality because you hear about PTSD and like veteran suicide and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I've had multiple buddies take their own lives, and I've always like replayed that in my head, trying to understand like we all went through the same shit, right? Like we were in the same unit, we're in the same deployment, and we experienced the same thing. So why is it so much harder for some over others? And like I thought about that a lot. Like it's played through my head, and I realized that like me, like I came from a good home. I had a great support system. Like my mom, dad, they're still very loving, caring. They've always been there for me, and they're amazing, you know? And so I came from a loving environment, and I've always had support. Even though I had bad vices, I've always had good support around me, I feel like, right? The bad vices were always, that was always my bad habits. I was the one that did that shit.
Right.
And I realized that, like, I started looking at the guys that, like, took their own lives and stuff. And it's like, man, like, that dude did not have the same life coming up that I had. You know, they came from a broken home. They were in a bad spot, and they joined the military because there really was no other option for them. And so they go from a bad environment to an even worse environment. And it's like, I feel like that's a big issue in the military today, you know?
Yeah, just the way that people are raised and then not having a support system when they get out.
Yeah, you know, like even when I got back from the deployments and stuff, it's like I had my wife there, I had my daughter, I had a good support system, I had a loving family. And like I said, some of these young kids that come in from a broken home and broken family, they're coming into the military at 18, 17, 18. And I even look back at that. Like I joined, I was 30, you know? I was 20, yeah, I was 29. And it's like I had lots of life experience before that. And I even thought back, like if I would have joined the military at age 18, I don't know if I would have had the mental fortitude to make it through, you know, because of my mindset and like having drill sergeants in my face yelling at me. I probably would have lost rank, like got disrespectful, you know, done some stupid shit. But yeah, these young kids, they come in from a broken system, they get broken home, broken system, they go into a worse spot, they come back, they don't have a support system like I had. Like their mom and dad's not there. They don't have a significant other because they're young. They're fresh out of high school. So what do? Like, what do they do with all that negative energy, all that pent up anger and anxiousness? You know?
Do you think there should be more vetting, like for people's backgrounds going in, whether they have a good support system or maybe they need longer on the streets before they go in? Or
No, I just think the military needs better systems in place to help them when they come back, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. I feel like, and I don't know, I've been out of the military now for a while, so I don't know what they're exactly doing for like these young soldiers, but I know it's always been kind of a topic of conversation within the military is like, how do we reduce these suicides and stuff? So I don't know what changes they made, but like when I came back, and you're a combat soldier, it always had a stigma to it. So like if you came back and like if I went to my chain of command and was like, hey, I'm having issues, man, I need to go see like mental health or something like that, or mental health department. It's almost like you got
weak.
branded. Yeah.
Yeah.
You looked at weak. You were like, oh, you know, he's a little bitch, you know? Mm-hmm. You're a combat soldier. You're expected to be tough. You're expected to, you know.
I've also heard one of the worst things is when you come back from a tour, you're not allowed to work or do anything for like 90 days. You just have like a rest period.
It's 30 usually.
Is it 30? Okay. Mm-hmm. But then there's like nothing to do, and then you have you're just stuck with your own thoughts, and especially if you don't have a support system, you're just alone. Mm-hmm. Like that's got to be...
Yeah.
You've been with the brotherhood for like the last...
You're right. Like that could be because it was after our first deployment. We had to have a safety stand down because it was within the first 90 days. Like you have the first 30 days where you don't have to come in or anything. They let you go on leave. You can go see family. So like you could, if your family was like, you know, in a different state or something, you could leave and go see them after coming back from deployment. But yeah, within that first 90 days, we had like 4 suicides within our brigade, and we had to do a safety stand down. We had to go through resiliency training and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you guys would be a brotherhood for that whole time you're deployed, and then you come back and you have nothing then at that point. If everybody separates their own ways, it'd be really lonely.
Could be, yeah.
Especially if like
Absolutely.
you hear about some of those people that like their wife leaves them or something during deployment, and then they come back to absolutely nothing, and then their brotherhood is also separated because they all went their own ways. Like that's like the worst scenario you can have is just being lonely in that time, especially if you have PTSD or things happen during that deployment, and now you're thinking, reliving these things of like what could have gone differently or whatever, and you're all by yourself. Like it's got to be just such a mental toll. I can't even imagine, but like that's. Maybe they should have like buddy systems or something for people that don't have.
Yeah, and they do have stuff like that in place, like, you know, battle buddies and like check in with your brother, and like you have like they had different things like that, but I don't know. And maybe they have made changes within the ranks. Who knows? I've heard some things. Some of them kind of frustrate me though, right? Like I've heard about stress cards now. I don't know how legitimate it is, but like basic training, if a soldier gets too stressed out, they have a card now that they can flip up.
Oh, really?
And it's like a timeout for the drill sergeants where they can't push it harder.
Huh.
And to me, I'm like, I don't know if that's the right answer.
Yeah, that's
like,
probably not good.
Yeah, you need to be able to put them in stress. Right, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. But I don't know how true that is. I've heard that from like multiple accounts that like they were doing stress cards. I'm like, oh.
Huh. Yeah, because usually the idea of the drill instructor is to like push you to a point where you want to quit, and you just got to keep pushing through that.
Right. So it's all about like, yeah, that the biggest part of basic training is more mental than it is physical. Like there is a physical aspect of it, but the mental stuff is more.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I don't know how I feel about that either. That's. Yeah, the whole idea is to make you stronger mentally and push past that quitting point.
Prepare you for the physical and mental demands of war, right?
Right.
It almost is kind of like brainwashing, but at the same point, it's like that's what's required. Like when you have that fight or flight, they need to instill that fight into you. So you're ready to go. Yeah,
I'm sure it also you're looked at differently if they do have these stress cards by like the other people that are on your unit, and they're like, I
hope so, yeah.
Well, that guy just raised his stress card when he got stressed. Is he gonna be having my back in this time of need?
Right. I wouldn't trust that.
Yeah, that'd be something always toying in the back of your mind. Yeah. How long were you in for?
I think was it 6 years?
Oh wow.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really hear a lot of people going in like in their 30s.
No, I went in late, and my goal was I did want to stay in. I wanted to make it a career, but it like breaks your body down pretty quick. So in the 6 years I was in, at one point I did the math, and I figured out like 6 years I was away from my family. I think half of it, total of 3 years. Yeah.
Just a bunch of active duty then?
Huh?
All active duty pretty much?
Yeah. Did all active duty, and I even had to extend my contract to meet the demands of our last deployment, or I wouldn't have been able to go. So I had to extend. That's why it was either six, maybe it was 6.5, because I had to extend to be able to go on that last deployment. And then, you factor in all the training you did. Like I went to air assault school where they train you how to rappel out of Blackhawks and stuff like that. And that was like a month and a half. You had your advanced training, which was like 6 months. You had the basic training. All these trainings that you go through, and it's like that's time away from your family. You had SLC, ALC, which is like the leadership courses. After I got promoted to like sergeant, and I had my own team. Then you have to go through even more training. So it's a lot of time away from your family. And then even my first deployment over to Afghanistan was I extended to stay there to rip out the new guys that came in. So like our deployment was supposed to be 12 months, it ended up being I think 11. And they shipped everybody home, and me and like 3 other dudes elected to stay back for an extra month and train the new guys that were replacing us on the area of operation and go out with them on missions. And yeah. And
you said you were married and you had a 2-year-old at this time when you had gone in. So how was that playing on your relationships and all that?
It was tough, man. The military definitely like took its toll on the relationships, and that's what's crazy is because like when you are in, like I said, I've always been a determined individual, and so like when I had the mindset I wanted to do it as a career, it's like I was trying to advance through the ranks as fast as I could. And they look at stuff, again, like your PT score. You have to be a PT beast, which I was, and you had to be an expert in rifle marksmanship, and so I was doing all these things. So I got promoted really quick. I made it to sergeant within 2 years. That's the fastest you can make it there. And then after that, I wanted staff sergeant, and the fastest you can make it to that is 4 years. I made it there. But because of that, it's like I loved being in the fight. Like I loved, like I felt like I had purpose now in my life, and what I was doing was important. Going over there, fighting Taliban, fighting the bad guys. And it's like when we deployed, I wanted to be over there. And like if I could have went on another deployment, like I would have signed up right away.
Yeah.
It sucks that you're away from your wife and kid, and it sounds horrible that it's like, yeah, because I didn't want to be away from them. I loved them, but at the same point, it's like this is my job, and I think that's translated into the rest of my life too. Like even with the business I own now, it's like it's my heart and soul. Like I put 110% of myself into that. So same thing with when you're in military, like being over there with the boys is like the best time ever. It's like the most stressful time, but it's also like, you're over there with dudes that are going to lay their life on the line for you, and you do the same for them. And you go out, you do your missions, and then the rest of the time is yours. Like I would spend my time in the gym outside of there, and then I was also doing like college courses online to try and better myself because military was paying for it, so why not?
Yeah.
So I loved being over there, but the bad side was you're separated from your loved ones.
Yeah.
But being here in Garrison, like for those who are thinking about signing up, and want to go over to the military, like the garrison life sucks. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the military and you're here stateside, like whatever base you're at, I was stationed at Fort Knox, like they always had you doing stupid shit. You're always training, or you're, cleaning weapons. Like if they didn't have anything for you to do, that was the number one thing that they'd always say, like go to the bay and clean your weapons. It's like, shit, that thing's clean. I've cleaned it for like the last 8 hours.
Yeah.
4 days in a row. Like,
right.
What are you talking about? Like, if they didn't have anything for you to do, they would make you do stupid shit.
So it was better to get deployed then?
Oh, yeah. You wanted to be deployed. You want to be over there because, like, literally you go on your mission, and some days it sucked. Like, we had one mission was supposed to be like a 4-hour mission. It ended up being like we got stuck on a mountainside for like 3 days. Like, they had to come drop water for us and, like, MREs, so we had food. Like, the helicopters that come in, they'd drop, like, little freaking... So we had supply.
Did it just get pushed back what you guys were supposed to do or something? You just had to keep going?
No, we had multiple things happen, but yeah, we got like ambushed and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And, like we had an ambush attack on us, and it forced us up the mountain. And then we had to it was crazy. We had to call in like Kiowa helicopters and stuff, and it was nuts, yeah.
What was some of the funnest training that you got while you were in the military that you liked?
Funnest training?
Or like the I guess the funnest one, because I figure some of that stuff's got to be kind of fun.
Yeah. Man, no, I mean, funnest training, I would say air assault, because that one was like physically demanding. Like they had, and it was kind of cool because like there was a lot of boring stuff in it. Like you had to learn sling loads, like how to hook up a howitzer, how to hook up like sling loads, like cargo and stuff like that to a Black Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
But they had different stages you went through at the school, and every stage had like a crazy kind of fitness challenge you had to do in order to pass. And so like when you first land there, the first thing you do is lay out all your gear, and you have to go through this obstacle course. And the obstacle course was difficult. And you had to pass each station, and if you failed one, you only got a second try at it to pass it. And like I can't remember what obstacle it was, but I failed it the first try, and I was like, oh shit. And then you're stressed out because you're like, I got one more try at this obstacle or else I'm out. And I got it on the second try. And then when you get to the end of it, like they have you bear crawling and doing this stuff, and you're like soaked in sweat. And then they get up and you have to run 2 miles in your full gear with like, they give you a water bottle, a canteen.
Mm-hmm.
You had to put it in your cargo pocket.
Oh, gosh.
And they're like, you cannot take, and that was probably the most difficult thing of the run, because you're running and this thing's flopping and it's beating up your leg.
Yeah.
And they made you run with it in your pocket. So surprisingly, like I can't remember how many we lost off of the obstacle course, and you just arrived at the school, and you see so many people are like, they didn't make it and they had to go. And then you go through some of the stupid courses. And then the midpoint, to me, the midpoint was the most difficult, because you had to do a 6-mile ruck. And it's a timed ruck, and you had to complete it in an hour and a half, which that part was easy, it felt like. but then they had you do a 4-mile run with your plate carrier on, your armored vest. You had to do a 4-mile run with that on. And they mentally, and it goes back to the mental side of it, because it was Sobolowski Air Assault School, so that you run this 2-mile lap and you come in and they start bringing you back into the parking lot of the Sobolowski Air Assault School. So you're running in, you're like, oh, cool, we're done, you know? And then the guy that was leading the run, he turned us all around. He was like, psych. And they ran us back out and we started going back again. And it's like, holy shit, we're doing another 2 miles. And that mentally mind fucked even me, because I was like, dude, like I was done. You know, I was like, I was done. And I fell out of formation. And anybody who falls out, you're done at the school. And I fell out. Like, I was like, nope, I'm done. And some dude grabbed me by the back of the plate carrier, by the back of my vest, and like forced me back into formation. He's like, you ain't fucking done. Keep going. And I thank God that he did that, because like that would have sucked. Like, looking back on it, I would have felt like a failure if I would have done that. But he forced me back in. I was able to complete it. It was all mental. You know, like mentally I was checked out. Like, I was like, dude, what the hell are they doing? I was pissed off, and it's like, no, we're done. You know, you took us back into the parking lot. We were done. But yeah, that dude forced me back in, and I was able to complete that one. But yeah, I should have failed because of that run.
I feel like everybody needs someone like that in their life. Not even just in the military, but someone's like, no, dude, I expect more out of you. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't even know who he was, because like I was the only guy there from my unit at that training. So nobody knew anybody. We were all strangers. So it was just some dude that was like, nope. He forced me back in. I was like, thank God he did. And then at the end, you have to do a 12-mile ruck in under 3 hours. And that was crazy but I was training because rucking is different. It's different than running than anything else. Like, rucking it uses, I don't know, different muscles, I want to say.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like a whole body.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, like, especially if you're carrying a heavy load.
How heavy was your load?
55 pounds.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and then you're in full kit, so you're wearing your helmet, you have your vest on, and then you also have your rifle that you have to carry with you at a low ready. And you have to go 12 miles. And so in order to hit that time, you have to run some of it. So like I had like a little timer on my watch, and I would like run, and then I would fast, walk with it, and then you'd run, then you'd fast walk, and you had to do that for 3 hours. And crazy thing is, they have a ruck march champion. Like, whoever does it in the fastest time gets like a badge for the school.
Yeah.
And they're seen as like the badass, It was a female.
Really?
Yeah, she did it in like an hour and a half.
Holy
like half the amount of time. Like, she ran like the whole thing.
She still had the 55-pound pack and everything?
Yeah.
It wasn't like just
Dude, so people, you hear these dudes are like, women shouldn't be in combat. Like, that chick, I was like, fuck, she's a beast.
Do you have a lot of combat, like higher combat chicks in there? Like, I know you don't really hear about that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's awesome. Good for her.
Yeah, she crushed it, and it was like, that's dope. And then, but I remember I finished it in like 2 hours, 35 minutes. And I was sitting on the side, because like you get back and they give you like a little sandwich and some orange juice to drink. And you're just soaked, like you're in your uniform and you're soaked with sweat. And I remember watching, they had the big like countdown clock there at the end. And you see it, I was like, it's approaching 3 hours. And I'm looking, and there's some dudes still like running in. There's still a lot of people that hadn't finished. And I watched this one guy, and he's like kind of trotting, and I'm like yelling at him. I was like, dude, run. Like, you're right there, bro. And see him cross at 3 hours, 2 seconds. Yeah. And the cadre at that school, they were like, hey, take a seat. And he took a seat, and everybody behind him, they had to take a seat right there. They all got DQ'd.
Wow.
Last event. Like, that's the last thing you do before you graduate, before you graduate the school. It's like, you fail that, it's like, shit.
Yeah, 2 seconds is 2 seconds.
Yeah, there was no like gray area for it. There was no mercy. It was like 2 seconds. Nope, you didn't make it. Sorry.
Man, imagine like, being that guy. Like, you're just replaying that in your brain the whole way. Like, where could I have just like ran for 10 seconds?
Exactly. It's fuck. More of that mind, that mentality.
Oh my gosh, that would be so terrible to go through. I don't know how long you said it was, that whole course, but then to miss it by 2 seconds, like probably what, a week or a week's long course, like 6, 7 weeks. Or something?
It was like a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
miss it by 2 seconds. Gosh.
A month course. Yeah.
What was some of the leadership stuff that you took from the military that you've been able to carry over into the business side?
I think like mostly they're, God, what'd they have? They had the acronym leadership. So loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, personal courage. And like we've incorporated that into like our mission statement for our business, right? So like duty to our customers, loyalty. And loyalty goes both ways towards our customers and also the people that work for us, right? Like we look for, like there's a lot of supplement brands out there that like let anybody join their group as an ambassador, and we're really like even today I had 2 phone calls with people just to see if they're the right fit. Like we're very like strict on who we allow to join our team.
Yeah.
So we look for loyalty. And
what do you look for in like an ambassador?
Well, I think that, God, because dude, it's crazy. Like I said, if you go to like Bucked Up or Redcon 1,
right?
They have like join our affiliate program, and I even
Mountain Ops or any of those. Yeah, it's like
yeah. I signed up for I think Redcon 1 just to see like what the process was like. I was like approved immediately. Nobody talked to me, nobody anything. They're just looking for, they're looking for like
just free
strength in numbers. Like the more ambassadors we have, the better. And I don't like that, right? Like for us, it's like we look for people that like
quality, not quantity.
Yeah, and I have a call. Me being the owner of the business, I have a call with every single person that I feel like we get the applications. A lot get automatically deleted. And if there is someone that's like, okay, this person might be a good fit, you review their social media and stuff. It's like they need to have a call with me first, right? I want the final sign off on whoever's joining the team. And, and a lot of people, it's like, can they even tell me like what? I'll ask people, why us? There's so many different supplement companies. Like, why would you want to join ours? And if the answer is anything like, I want some free product and this and that, it's like, can they speak to like, dude, I love what you guys stand for. I love that you're veteran owned. Like, do they even know who we are? Or are they just signing up because they think that it's the next thing that they need to do because all their buddies are with a company or something, right?
Right. So
it's like we look to make sure that they're a good fit for us and make sure we're also a good fit for them,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of great things about leadership in the military that carries over. I'm a big Jocko fan.
Yep.
So like I've read a lot of his extreme ownership and leadership books. I think I got a few over there, but it's cool how he can like relate some of the stuff from like Fallujah and different things like that. Then he takes it over to like the civilian side, corporate side, yeah. So it's always interesting to talk to people about the leadership side and what they've learned from the military.
I don't think, I don't know if there's any one thing. I just feel like a lot of what I've taken from the military has translated over to, the business that we have now. Like from leadership aspect, from everything. Like I do know, like I am very, and I probably have like a bad. I'm sure that there's like bad things that are being said about me out there, but like I don't know. Like coming from the military, you learn to be very blunt with people, right? Like I'm not going to sugarcoat shit.
Yeah,
and I'm going to tell people how it is, and like I feel like I do catch some hate from that, from some people, which is like whatever. I don't care. Like if they're not. Tough skinned, whatever.
But at least everybody knows where they stand with you.
Right. I'm not going to bullshit. And, if I'm saying something behind someone's back, I can guarantee you they've heard it to their face.
Yeah.
First.
Right. I like that.
Yeah. So I feel like that's translated. Like, my wife's very afraid of conflict. She hates it. And like with me, it's like, I don't welcome it, but I'm not afraid of it. So like if there's issues, I'm not afraid to like point it out and let someone know.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that I've picked up from just the books that I've read from Jocko is just the ownership side of it. Like if there's anything failing in your company or
it's you.
On your team, it's you somehow.
Yeah.
And I've had to like just take that. I've never had military experience or anything, but I've just had to take that into like just the things that I do. Like if, we make a mistake on even just being a parent, like if my kids aren't doing something they're supposed to do, I probably have failed somewhere along the line of explaining why it's important for them to do that.
Yeah.
Like just taking that ownership of like, all right, well, you didn't clean your room. That's probably my fault because I didn't explain to you why it's important for you to do it and why it's later on. You're still going to be in trouble, but like I need to do a better job. And I think ownership's just huge because everybody's just always blaming someone else or taking like the victim side of it. Like, no, dude.
Exactly.
Like, and whenever you like blame someone else, you give them all the power. So it's like if you just take that ownership and be like, no, I fucked up, and then it's like, all right, well now I have control to change this. Yeah. Every time I'm blaming my wife because we're getting in fights and it's her fault, like I'm giving all the power to her. Like, what did I do in this whole situation? But no, I think it's cool, man. I think it's I always have tremendous respect for people that were in the military, because I know it's like, one, it's not forced. You're volunteering to do this kind of stuff to protect our country, and it's not easy. And just to see all the values and stuff, and especially the Mission 22 stuff that you do all the time. And like, that's huge. I've had a few people on here that have had friends that have passed or committed suicide from the military and stuff, and it's so sad, man.
Yeah, it's an epidemic, but yeah.
At what point was it that you decided that you wanted to start a business once you got out of the military?
Dude, well, that's the tough part, and that's why a lot of our our business is influenced by the military as well, because when I got out, like, even though I joined late, like, I did have life before the military, like, the military, it just gets ingrained in you, like the lifestyle, I can see why some people get in the military and they fail at it and they get kicked out because it's not probably the right fit for them, but in order to enjoy it, like, you really have to embrace the lifestyle and everything that comes along with it. And like, I loved it, so when you get out and you take your uniform off for that last time, it kind of like mind fucks you, like you just kind of lose your identity. So when I got out, it's like, I knew I wanted to get out. I knew I wanted to do something else with my life. And I knew that my body couldn't keep going. And like, I've got 2 herniated discs from the military. I've got a bad knee from it. And so it got to a point where they're like, oh, well, you can keep going in the military and they'll just put you on a desk job. And I'm like, no, screw that. Like, I'm not going to be a desk dude. And so you take your uniform off and it's like, okay, but that purpose, that drive, the meaning behind my job, like what I was doing, like, you lose all of that. So it's like, what's next? And so when I got out, I joined corporate America, like, right away, and I hated it, hated it. And again, it's like I went back to the old me before joining the military. It's like, I'm not doing anything important with my life. Like, what am I doing? So,
did you get back into sales in the corporate area, or was it
something? Yeah. I was a sales manager. So okay. I got hired for HP and I was a sales manager for them. And again, it's like, what am I doing? I'm helping people become better at selling computers, and we're selling computers. And yeah, I mean, there's importance behind that, right? Like, companies need computers, tech companies, and we're probably selling computers to companies that are doing great things, and they wouldn't be able to do it without our computers. But to me, it's like, I need more of that. I don't even want to call it validation. Like, I just needed more purpose. And so that's why we got into, supplements, because, going back to me, going down to the recruiter station, I couldn't even run 2 miles. It took me 24 minutes. And I fell in love with fitness, and I fell in love with fitness through the military because it was part of it. And again, you get out and it's like, I have PTSD, I have anxiety, and the VA's quick to throw medication at you to try and fix everything. Like, going in and talking to the therapist after being out of the military, like, they prescribed me multiple different depression medications, and which was supposed to help with anxiety and stuff like that. And all of it just made me feel worse. Like, while I was on it, or else like the next day I would be super lethargic. Like, it's almost like you're crashing after taking a drug, and it was horrible. And I was like, man, this is not it. So for me, I always found like what helped me was just getting in the gym, releasing endorphins that way, like going pushing myself harder. Like, you always feel better. The days where I skip the gym, like even on my rest days, I still try and do something physical, whether it's like I go for a run or I go for a walk outdoors, or I just even still go into the gym and just walk on the treadmill. It just makes you feel better,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I seen that even just working in the prison was like, whenever somebody had something mental health, they were so quick to put them on antidepressants. Yeah. And then you see them go back to their cell and they're, eating all this crappy foods, getting fat, not moving their body at all. And it's like, dude, like, your natural medicine is just waiting for you right outside. Just go walk the track, go, make yourself sweat. Like, that's the best medication that you can get for any of your depression or anything else. But they're so quick to just, here's some drugs.
Pills.
Yeah.
Dude, the VA is the same way, and I hate that. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So that's why we started the supplement company, because the other story, like, while we were in, we had a sergeant that, you remember supplements back in the day, because this was, my first deployment was like 2010, after going through basic and stuff. Like, right when I got to the unit, it's like, hey, we're being deployed. And I was like, cool. I couldn't wait. So we'd go over there, and we'd go over to the Afghanistan. And it's like, again, like I said, we'd go out on mission, you'd go through all that stress, and you kind of needed that dump, that just like adrenaline dump. So we come back off mission, and most of us would go to the gym we had there. We had the big like makeshift gym on our fob. So we'd go there. So we were ordering in supplements from, wherever we could get it from, bodybuilding.com. And back then the big thing was Jack 3D, and Craze was another one, and like Nano Vapor, like all these crazy supplements that weren't good for you, And we actually had a dude that, he was Sergeant Aaron Scales. I remember we got back after our first deployment, and he went to officer candidate school. He wanted to become an officer. And one of the tasks they had to do was run a timed 5 mile, and they had to run it in under so much time. And so he took that Craze pre-workout beforehand, thinking it was going to help him with his run. And he had cardiac arrest and died out on the track.
Oh, shit.
And I think he was 31. Yeah. So he took that Craze, which had, back then it was like, I don't know if it was DMAA, I can't remember what it had, and if it was just raw Fedra,
Gosh.
But yeah, he had a cardiac arrest and died on the track. I was like, fuck. So that was part of like the reason for wanting to get into supplements, is like, we remember that stuff. Like going on my second deployment, we'd order in supplements again. And because of how many soldiers were like dying on like pre-workouts they were taking, they came out with the military ops ban list. And so basically they had a list of ingredients that were banned that soldiers couldn't take. And so like our cadre, not our cadre, but our leadership, our chain of command would come in, and they would do inspections on our supplements to see what we were taking. And they would confiscate products from us if it had any of those ingredients on the list. Dang. And so that's really what got me into supplements, like trying to understand like, what should I be taking? What should I be avoiding? Why are ingredients on these ops ban list? Because, dude, I want shit to be confiscated from me. Like, you spend your hard-earned money being a soldier to have supplements shipped in, and then it's going to be taken by your chain of command. It's like, screw that. So I started, like, making my own pre-workout concoctions with, like, raw creatine. And, like, back then, I think it was, like, arginine, which is, like, an outdated pump ingredient. And, like, trying to flavor it with Mio Energy. Do you remember those old things?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
The little squeezes, right?
Yeah. Tasted absolutely horrific, but it's like, at least I knew my shit wasn't going to get confiscated. So when we got out, going back to the original story, like that's why I knew I wanted to do something. I knew I wanted to be involved with an organization that would help with veteran suicide, hence the Mission 22 relationship that we had. And at the same point, it's like we wanted to offer supplements, a good quality product that could, encourage people to get in the gym and find their therapy through there, but also formulas that were safe and effective and met like the military ops ban list, that were safe for drug tested athletes to take, that you wouldn't have to worry about the negative side effects, or taking something that's unsafe that would have repercussions potentially.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think because most people don't even know what they're taking. They just know it's going to give them like the tingly feeling, and that's what they're looking for, and then they don't know what the heck it is, or
Yeah. A lot of people don't even know what they're putting in their bodies, right? It's just whatever is the flashiest label, whatever, like you said, whatever feeling I got. Oh yeah, I love this pre-workout. I got all cracked out of my mind and stuff like that. And that's what they chase, is like that feeling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Because I think that if you could be getting into that market, especially with a good, a good reasoning behind the company, instead of like, we just want to make money, but you have like a good purpose behind it. Like, people can get behind the story of the company rather than just because of the product. Now you start building a brand and a purpose, and that's pretty sweet. What was your first product you came out with?
It was a pre-workout. It was called UXO pre-workout.
Okay,
just basic name.
Yeah. Were you able to spread that throughout the military and just start giving samples and like get feedback on it, or?
No, man, we jumped in head first. So surprisingly, it was when we first started out, it was UXO supplements, and it was me and my combat medic Petty. He was on my first deployment with me, and he was our combat medic that went out on all the missions with us and stuff. And we started the company with $10,000. That was it, and we started with that pre-workout and like a BCA. And the branding was horrible. Like it was dumb. We didn't really know what we were doing. So we just went in on it. We were just operating out of our garage. And then it went through multiple renditions to where we got to where we're at today with the Send It lineup. And, now we have a full lineup of everything. So we've been able to grow it. But to your point, though, is like, since we've been around for so long, and now, we started taking it seriously, and we move into our own warehouse, and we're growing it, and we're adding more things to the lineups and stuff like that. And I blew up on TikTok a little bit, and I had all these people reaching out to me, and people were like, hey, how, I want to start a supplement company. Like, how do I do this? How do I go about it? And I always tell them, back to your comment, like if you're doing something that has purpose behind it and mission, like you're going to stay grounded and you're going to keep pushing forward, right? And a lot of people think you jump into the supplement game and you're going to make a bunch of money quick, and you're not. You're not. Like, it's a heavily saturated market. It's very, very difficult to build a brand. Like, you could go have a supplement store where you're selling other people's brands. Like, that's much easier because people have heard of those brands and, okay, I know I can get this here, I can get this there. But when you're trying to build your own brand, like, why is someone going to want to buy from you when they can buy from Axe and Sledge or Raw Nutrition or, any of these big name companies? Like, what really differentiates you? And why would they trust you? So it's difficult to get going. So the first 3 years of the company, we lost money. We lost a lot of money. But when you have that mission back in it and you have that purpose behind the brand, like, yeah, you could eat shit for a long time and keep pushing forward. But that's why you see a lot of supplement companies enter the market and they shut down within the first year because they realize, shit, I'm not making any money, and they don't have anything really pushing them forward. So why would they continue?
Yeah, they're kind of in it for the wrong reasons.
Right. They're in it just to make money, make a quick buck. And it's like, you can't do that. Specifically not in the supplement space. You'll lose.
That's one thing I've realized while starting my own, like, the fitness business was, like, stop chasing money, just give value. Because when you're chasing money, then you're focusing on yourself. But when you focus on, like, the customer and their experience, then everything else just kind of comes to you at that point. But if you're like, to your point, if you're focusing on the wrong thing and you don't have any fulfillment or purpose behind it, like, good luck lasting through the hard times, because then you have nothing pushing you besides the money that's not coming in.
Make money.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm sure you've heard it a lot being a business owner and stuff, but people are like, oh, it must be nice, having your own thing. But what are some of the unseen things and struggles that you've had to go through just starting a business?
Starting a business?
And just, I mean, just being a business owner in general. Because you've been in business now for how long with the supplement company?
God, 10 years.
Yeah.
What are some of the
what's some of the struggles that people don't see?
Man,
they just see, like, he's got a business, but they don't see any of the back end.
Dude, there's all sorts of struggles. I don't even know where to begin. There's so many. Like, you want to start. That's the other thing too. Like, people are like, man, I want to start a business. I want to quit my 9 to 5. I want to be my own boss. But a lot of people don't understand that you trade in that 9 to 5 for a 24/7 role.
Yeah.
Like, it's more hours I've worked now than ever before. Right? Like, there's, like, even yesterday, it's like I worked all day, but then you have so many other things going on. Like, I didn't get done working last night until like 11:30. And when you first start out, like, now I have people on the team too. So I've got, like, an operations girl. I've got our affiliate ambassador manager. We've got owner who's our SEO guy, and I've got web developers and stuff like that too, right? So I have all these people, but when you first start out and you don't have any money, like, you have to do all that yourself. So like, you're not only a business owner, you wear every hat. You're the owner, you're the salesman, you're the content creator, you're everything. Your customer service. So it's a nightmare, like, when you first start out until you start bringing in resources. But the other thing you have to figure is, like, as you continue to grow, it's like, how do I compete with these bigger companies like First Form out there, right? They have hundreds of employees. So they've got hundreds of people driving them forward. So when we only have 5, like, how do I amplify that? How do I make it? Because I'm never gonna catch up to them or beat them if they have hundreds of employees and I've got just 5.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have to amplify that message and find ways to make 5 people do the work of 10 people, or to produce the amount of 10 people.
Yeah. Andy Frizella's got a similar story too, where he said he worked in a shop for like, what was it, 5-6 years, and they didn't make no money at all. It was like
Yeah.
$13,000 for like like a year or something like that.
Yeah.
And then,
Dude, that's how it was with us. Like
yeah,
we lost money our first year, and then we made big mistakes, like where we. So there's a lot. Like being an entrepreneur is crazy because if you don't have a mentor or someone helping you along the way, there's lots of lessons that you're going to get burned with, and you have to be able to take those. Like, dude, we got hit with an infringement case.
Oh, really?
Where an image we had on our website belonged to someone else. And yeah, they came after us, and we had to pay. I had to settle out of court, and I still had to pay like $7,000.
Jeez.
Yep. For one image.
That's wild.
I was like, fuck. And it happened like way back in the day. So I'm sure it probably was me unknowingly grabbing an image that I didn't realize was copyrighted or owned by someone else.
Yeah.
But it was like years later too. It was like 5-6 years down the road. They're like, hey, this image, dude. And it was crazy. Like they had it screenshotted, and they're like, and they flat out even told me when they reached out in the emails, like, don't try and go in there and delete it. Like we have screenshots of like where it was at. You know, we have the when it was downloaded. Like they had everything. I was like, oh shit.
Jeez.
And they're like, hey, if we do take you to court, like we could potentially see upwards of like $30,000 in restitution and this and that. And I was like, holy shit. And so we had to negotiate, and we got it down to like, I think it was like $6 or $7,000 that I had to pay him.
Dang.
But it sucked, man. So it's like you learn all these small lessons along the way, and it's like, okay, but you learn from those.
Yeah,
So
stupid
make
tax.
sure that
yeah.
shit never happens again, right?
Yeah.
So, and to your point, like I could become a victim and be like, oh, you know, and talk shit, or we could just handle it, learn from it, move forward, make sure shit doesn't happen again.
Fail forward.
Yeah, fail forward. I love that. Yeah, fail forward.
Are you a pretty risk adverse person? Like, are you good taking risks, or was that something that you had to like kind of learn?
No, I've always been good at taking risks. What I had to learn was taking educated risks.
Oh, like thinking it out before you took it?
Yeah. Well, I think it just goes back to experience. Like even today, like I said, I had multiple calls, and I had this guy that wanted to become an ambassador, and he has a huge following. And like the old me would have been like, shit, this guy's got 200,000 followers. Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's fucking send him a bunch of product for free. And you learn from that mistake. And now it's like, okay, cool. You want to be cool. You've got a great, huge following. Like, I need to see your analytics. Like, let me see your engagement. Let me see, okay, you've been involved with this company. I want to see what you were able to produce for them, you know, being smarter about it.
Yeah.
Because we got burned with that, where we had multiple content creators on the team that had like a couple 100,000 followers, and you expect that's just going to translate into money, and it doesn't.
Right.
Doesn't always. Not with some people. You have to have the right people that have an engaged audience.
Yeah. No, that's wild. I never even would have thought of that. Yeah, I would just think, yeah, they got like a couple 100,000. That's got to be good.
Yeah. Oh, the old me would too, and that's where goes back to just like learning as you go. And I do recommend, like, if people are looking to start up a business, that they find someone who's a mentor, you know, find someone who's done it and has been successful and can help guide them, so they avoid those huge pitfalls, those giant mistakes that are going to cost them fortunes, you know?
Yeah. I think mentorship is one of the best investments I've ever made.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Even just hiring my first mentor when I was trying to just go into business, but it was more like a mindset mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to figure out like things from my past traumas, like what was going to block me from future success. And but if I wouldn't have hired that dude for the 6 months that I had him, like, I don't know where I'd be at.
If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer this, but
yeah.
How much did you pay him?
It was like $3,600.
It
was like $600 a month or something.
See, and some people would probably be like, "Oh my God, that's so much! Like that's my car payment, that's my mortgage," you know?
Yeah.
But
I ended up spending like $10,000 that year on different investments. It was just like all from the golf club stuff. But I was like, I'm going to spend this money regardless. But am I going to spend it on something that's going to be closer to my goals, or something that's not going to be closer to my goals?
Yep. And I think that's the big thing, is like a lot of people, they don't look at like that long term. Like, yeah, you could go spend your money on a car, right? But that's going to depreciate, and you're going to lose all that money over the length of time. Or you go get a mentor, someone that's going to be able to provide you knowledge, provide you, right? Mm-hmm. And that's going to earn you more in the long run, you know?
Yeah, Alex Hormozy has a really great saying. It says, invest in the S&P 500, not the S&P 500.
The SME.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because
Yeah.
if you can get more
Yeah,
skills, you're worth more money per hour.
Exactly.
And so, like, if it's like you're going to, you know, back in like 2023 or 22, I had bought like this $800 course to teach me how to sell on eBay. And that year, after learning that, I made like 20 grand on eBay.
Yep.
So it was like just from an $800 course. And then I was like, oh, well, what else can I learn? And then I bought a course on like how to podcast, you know, when I decided I want to start podcasting.
It helped you set this up. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I wish I would have hired like someone, a mentor for a podcast, because it took me like 8 episodes before I realized that my cameras were set up in slow motion. So my cameras were overheating at an hour because I'm recording in 60 frames per second instead of like 30 frames.
Yeah,
or 24.
Yeah.
So it's working extra hard. And then when I try and actually take all that clip and put it into Premiere, it's like having a hard time to generate all these
files are so huge.
Huge. And I'm like 8 episodes in, 9 episodes before I realized, oh, I mean, I was calling Sony. I was asking them like, hey, these cameras, the brand new cameras I just bought, like shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, maybe just upgrade your SD card. So I got new SD cards, like V60s instead of V30s. And that wasn't doing it. And then I'm just like looking at a YouTube freaking video and they're like going over just basic settings. And I'm like, okay, 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
Never had that issue again.
Yeah.
And then it's just stupid stuff. But if I would have just hired like a $500 person, like I'm trying to do right now, for a day, just to come in here and work on all my lights and my sounds and everything like that, set up the cameras the way they should be, like I would have
avoided all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I always tell
people
like invest in somebody else that's gone through that, because you can always make more money, but you can't get this time back.
Yeah, and so people always ask me if there's one thing you would do differently. That's always my number one answer is I would have found a mentor and someone in that industry too. It can't be someone, because every industry is very different. So,
right.
And then, you know, I've mentioned that I think on Bam's podcast too. And I had people reaching out to me like, hey, you want to be my mentor? No, like this isn't me. Like, I'm not that dude, and I'm still learning as I go. I'm not a mentor, and so I'm not saying this to try and pitch my services, because I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
But find someone who is, because it'll save you fortunes in the long run.
I think too, just getting around other people, like your environment. When you're around other people that make you feel like you're, just like not making it in life, you know, like if you're the smartest person in the room, I've learned that that's the worst thing, because I'm hanging around too many small fish if I'm the biggest fish in the room, you know? I want to be around, like once I got around Bam and he started teaching me about more podcast stuff, I was like, holy shit, you know? Or once I got around like different gyms rather than like at Planet Fitness, and then you're like, I would have never thought I would step on a bodybuilding stage when I was working at Planet Fitness, but then you change your gyms or you change your environment, and now all of a sudden you see what's possible, and you're like, okay, well,
level up.
It's time to level up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I think the word I was looking for is deprived. Like, when you feel deprived, right? If you're around like a bunch of people that are rich and you're deprived of that money, you're like, I need to freaking get better. Or you see people that are like just jacked, and you're like, now I'm deprived of these muscles. I need to do whatever. But yeah, I think environment's just huge. But yeah, if you can't get around that environment, hire a mentor for sure. That's
100%.
I was just telling my niece the other day. She was like, I was asking her about college and stuff, and I was like, you know, if there's like a business that you want to get into, just go hire a mentor that's in that business already, rather than going to school for 2 years learning from a professor that's probably never even had a business.
Or even offer to do like an internship, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll work for free for you.
Exactly. But to get around those people that'll just be like willing to pour into you or whatever. Because I see all these people like, oh, I want to go into business. I'm going to go to business school for 4 years. I'm like, or you could just do the business.
Dude, and that's what's wild too, is like, it's funny you bring that up, like college. I got my degree while I was in the military. Like I said, they paid for it. So I went into business administration because I knew one day I wanted to try and own my own business, right? There's nothing I learned in that outside of maybe accounting.
Yeah.
But there's nothing I learned from that would have set me up for success. Like, because the business world is changing. Like constantly. Like you look at the development of AI and how AI is taking over all processes and how it makes things more efficient. Like they don't teach that shit, you know? So all the methodologies that are being taught in college is all old mindset or stuff that worked years ago. That shit don't work now.
Yeah.
You know? You even look at like, God, 3 years ago, Facebook marketing was like the shit. Now it's not. Like now you got to be on TikTok, and now you got to be on augmentic, right? Which is like being able to make sure your stuff is searchable through Claude and ChatGPT and
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's always evolving.
It's always evolving. So you gotta stay ahead of that. Like, so you're right. Like, I feel sorry for these kids that are like going to school for business administration and stuff like that because they're not going to get shit out of it. They may get some leadership skills out of it, you know, if they don't have any leadership experience, but yeah, they're gonna flush all that money down the drain.
How's it been switching over and doing like TikTok live? Live has scared the shit out of me, man.
Live?
Yeah.
Why?
Like I'll make content in the middle of a grocery store, but like just the thought of me going live, like it just scares the shit out of me. I don't know.
Well, live sucks, dude. You have to, again, it's just like with anything else, you have to develop it. Live is like one of our best channels right now, TikTok Live.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks because you have to be consistent with it and you have to do it. And that's why I hired a girl, Janelle. She does all of our TikTok lives every single day. And she's good with it, but you have to build it up. So when we first started getting live, and I took this advice from Gary Vaynerchuk. Do you know who that? All right. So Gary, a huge follower of him. Like if you follow anybody and you want to start a business, follow Gary Vaynerchuk. Like, guy's brilliant. And he's always been ahead of the curve and he's always been spot on with his predictions. So he was the first guy, he first got into like Google pay-per-click, you know, and he was getting it when it was like pennies on a dollar and he made fortunes off of it. And then he was an early investor in Twitter and everybody was like, that's stupid. Twitter, you can only do 200 characters. There's something out there called email. Why would anybody want to do Twitter? And like Twitter blew up, you know? Mm-hmm. And then he invested in, you know, I think Uber and all these other things. But he called out TikTok. He was like, hey, for all you, and I was the same way. Like TikTok, I had a buddy that was on there crushing it. And he joined our team as an ambassador. And he was like selling boatloads of our product off of TikTok. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, I'm on TikTok. And I was like, oh my God. Because I just saw it as like a platform that kids went on and danced on and shit. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And he was like, you got to get on there. So he helped coach me and got me good at TikTok. And then TikTok Live became the new thing. Gary Vaynerchuk was like, if you're not on TikTok Live doing live selling, you're going to be behind the boat. So we tried it and we jumped on. And the first, like, it sucked for like 6 months because you go live and nobody joins. You have like maybe 2 or 3 people in there, and it's like you're talking to yourself and they're just watching you and you feel so awkward. But then the more you do it, the more people start showing up, and they, you know, as long as you engage with the people and you know them by name, and when they pop back in, then they bring their friends, like, hey, you know, they share out your lives. They're like, this is the guy I was telling you about. Come join. Next thing you know, where it used to be you only had like 1 or 2 people watching you, you now got like 200, 300 at any given time. You know? And so then it's great to, you know, just engage with them, have conversations, answer questions, but then slide your products in there. And next thing you know, you're selling like $800, $900 a live.
Yeah, that's sweet. I think I've heard him talk about too, Whatnot. Have you done Whatnot?
No. But that's where, TikTok Live matched them in the essence that they now do auctions.
Oh, yeah.
So dude, like these shoes, Whatnot. My shoe collection, I'm addicted to Whatnot. I'm just not on there.
Yeah.
Because, dude, I get auctions. I get into these auctions, these shoe auctions, and I just go ham, and I pick up Jordans for like, you know, half the price of what you'd normally get them for.
Yeah.
But yeah,
my
wife hates it because I have new shoes showing up all the time. But TikTok launched an auction feature.
Oh,
so we started doing it, and it's been great.
Sick.
So
yeah, I have a buddy crushing it on Whatnot right now, doing golf clubs. And
doing golf clubs?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Just like single golf clubs. But then he doesn't make as much on the golf clubs, but now he's built up such a following that he's got like his own merch, like his own shirts with his brand and stuff, and then like ball markers. Those. And then he's making like huge margins on those and a little margins on the golf club side. Yeah. So I'm like, dang. But he's built that brand up he was doing it for a little bit, not making that much money, but he just kept being consistent every Friday night shows, or now he's doing like Wednesday night and Friday nights. And I'm like, man. Yeah, I'm like, why don't you just leave your job and do it? He's like, I just need the insurance. I'm like, bro, if you're crushing it like 2 days a week, imagine if you did like 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
That's the tough part, you know, burning the boats. But yeah, TikTok, their live auctions have been amazing.
Yeah,
we sell a lot of merch through them.
I know my mentor that I pay for, they're like, you need to go live like 3 times a week. And I'm like,
You just got to do it, man, and you'll learn. But it sucks because like we went through a big lull in our TikTok lives, and we had to battle out of it, but we finally got back on the upswing. But you got to be super careful with TikTok because they will they'll ban you for everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we were having discussions about peptides, and I'm pretty knowledgeable about peptides. We don't sell them, but people would hop in and they'd ask questions. And so it goes back to the value piece. Like we want to be able to provide value. So like we'll answer your questions about peptides and educate you. And we got slammed by TikTok, and they like took away our push on the For You page. So people weren't getting notified when we were going live, and like they wouldn't let us do DMs, and yeah, and it struggled. So there for a while, it's like we'd go live and we would only have like 15, 20 people in our lives, where we used to have like 200, 300. And then we had to battle back from that. And now we're back on the upswing. Like yesterday's was really good, but yeah.
Dang. I don't know what's a big craze about peptides. Like, cause I had another buddy, he's got almost 200,000 followers, and he got banned where he couldn't even post on Instagram for a little bit because he was talking about peptides just in his stories, not even like trying to push them or anything.
Instagram, TikTok, all of them are cracking down hard on like the peptide.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Because like I mean I did the Reddit a little bit on my prep, and I mean I never talked about it just because I heard people getting banned or whatever. But I'm like, I don't know, it's not FDA, but neither is creatine or any of those things, right? Like,
well, it's the thing with peptides is it's gray market. So like supplements aren't. So no supplement is FDA approved, but supplements are, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not restricted, right? So there are ingredients that can be found in supplements. Like, FDA will release a list of like, God damn it, I can't, what's the terminology they use? Not hazardous. Basically ingredients that like are found not to be safe, right? Like DMA or DMHA and stuff like that. And if a product has it in there, the problem with the FDA is they don't have the resources to go after people who are pushing these illegal ingredients. Like First Form actually got busted back in 2019 for some ingredients they had in their pre-workout, and they were considered not a dietary supplement. They couldn't be used in a dietary supplement because they were augmented or basically concocted in the lab.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so they got hit with a warning letter basically saying, hey, you got to remove these ingredients from your product. It's very rare that you see that because they normally don't have enough resources to go after all these people that are breaking the rules. But I think when you get big enough and you were doing it, like First Form, then they're like, all right, that's a big red flag, and the FDA went after them. But see, with peptides, they are not. They haven't been researched. They haven't been, except for like the Ozempic ones and what's the other one?
Manjaro or something.
Manjaro, right? And the reason that those ones have been tested is because those motherfuckers went out there and paid for the clinical testing, which is millions of dollars, and that's why it's so expensive to get those.
Yeah, like $600 a month.
Yes. So because they paid for the clinical trials to get the FDA to approve them, and that's why they charge whatever the hell they want to charge, and they're just making a killing on it. Because right now, like I get the gray market retatrutide, right? Mm-hmm. And it's $70 for a 2-month supply.
Yeah. And
retatrutide's like way more powerful than either GLP-1 or GLP-2.
Yeah.
Or the Wegovy's or the Ozempics or any of them.
Was it GLP-3 agonist or something like that, right?
Yeah. So you can get it super cheap through the gray market, but because it hasn't gone through the clinical trials, it's viewed as like it's not a safe ingredient, even though there is a company. And that's why I keep telling people is people are like, oh, GLP-3 is about to be approved, which it is. It's going through the clinical trials with some company. And people are like, oh, I can't wait now. I'll be able to get it prescribed. And it's like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, you're going to get it prescribed, but it's going to be
$600,
$800. Yeah, probably for a month's supply.
Yeah.
Where you can get it through these and the companies I go through, the gray market companies, like it sounds shady, but they sell them, and the way that they fly under the radar is they label them as not for human consumption, only for, they're called research chems. Yeah. They're for research use only. And you can buy it, but they all still come with like a third-party certificate. They've been tested, so it shows like the purity of it. They show that they're not contaminated. They all have like a barcode on the bottom of the bottle. So like they're safe, they're effective, they're compounded here in the US, right? So, and I get it for $70 versus, dude, it's like these big companies, man, it just drives me nuts. Like they're robbing American people blind.
Yeah, the GLP-3s are nice too because it's just taken away from your fat. It's not even doing anything to your muscle. Where like the
preserves
Ozempic,
your muscle tissue.
Where Ozempic is like you're getting that sunken in face. It's taking away all of your muscle mass. They're like, I'm losing a bunch of weight. And you're like, well, if you look at your scans, you're probably losing 40-50% of your body mass from your muscles. Yeah. And then you're also weakening your bones and the density of your bones. And then, because a lot of them are just like not still resistance training or eating properly. They're just sticking themselves with a shot and then hoping that does it all for them.
And that's the downside is like me and Chris Gethin had this chat about it a little bit ago. It's like, what's the end state for a lot of these people? Because a lot of people that they get on it and it's like they're either going to take it and never come off. And if they do come off, it's like they're not setting themselves up to better themselves by learning better habits. It's like I hear these people, it's like, oh man, I love being on Ozempic. I eat whatever I want and, I'm losing this weight. Yeah. And some people like, I just don't eat at all. And that's why people are feeling that a lot of people are like losing their bone density because they're not getting enough minerals and stuff from their diet because they just aren't eating. Yeah. But it's like, what's the end state? Like, how do people come off of this? And that to me is scary because like a lot of doctors are prescribing it, but they're not giving like a success plan. Like, here's how you're going to take this. Here's how you eventually come off of it and live a healthy lifestyle. So people are just becoming reliant on these peptides.
They're not getting the habits to create the healthy lifestyle to get off of them, and then they just become reliant on it, and then just still keep their shitty habits of eating Burger King and McDonald's and all that, and just be like, okay, I can take a shot and I'm good.
Yep. So what happens when they come off of it?
Yeah, they'll balloon up,
back up, and they probably get worse.
Yeah, and their bone density is bad, so then they're getting injured, and if they,
it's fucking wild.
It's wild.
So
I hope that they can.
I think there needs to be more education around that for people who do go on peptides, like success plans set up for how they get them off of it, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's cool because I know both you and Chris are very strict about the ingredients that you put in your supplements, and that's like some of the cleanest stuff that I've seen out there on the market is between the Unmatched and the Diet Trying Company. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, we have our different mindsets, like when it comes to sweetener and stuff. It's like Unmatched. I give Chris props, like his Unmatched, and he sends me product and to do reviews on like my TikToks and everything.
Oh, really?
So we have a good relationship, but he's hardcore with the natural flavoring, natural sweetener, stuff like that.
Like monk fruit and stuff?
Yeah. I know he uses stevia. Is he using monk fruit? I think he's using Reb M.
Okay.
He might be using monk fruit in a couple of them, but like he's big on that. But there's definitely like a distinction in taste, at least for me.
Yeah.
Between like a sucralose flavored product and like the organic stuff.
Yeah.
So like we're the same way, like when it comes to like quality of the ingredients and like going with trademarked ingredients and making sure that everything's safe and efficaciously dosed and that third party tested. But for me, like I have to have sucralose. And I know sucralose has been demonized, but it just tastes so much better. And like a lot of people, and I'll argue with people all the time because like a lot of people are watching these like big time influencers demonize sucralose, and a lot of the stuff that they're spouting off just isn't true, or else they aren't sharing the full story. Like they'll talk about sucralose and how it's genotoxic and it breaks your DNA, right? I don't know if you've heard that. Breaks your DNA strands, and it wasn't even sucralose. If you actually read the study, it was sucralose 6-acetate.
Oh, okay.
Which is not the same thing. Not the same thing. Not even close. But all the headlines read sucralose damage your DNA. It's like bullshit.
Well, it's also like how much of it, because it's the same thing with people talking about like aspartame and diet soda. But then you have to drink like 24 cans of diet soda for it to even get to close to the FDA levels for like to even get close to it though. But if you're drinking 24 cans a day, like you got other problems going on.
So
anyway.
we'll always have people jump on like our Facebook ads, like where we're promoting, and they'll be like, "Oh, I can't believe your product uses sucralose, absolute shit." And like, "Oh, you don't know it destroys your gut." And it's like, no, like there were studies out there too that said sucralose would damage your gut microbiome. But to your point, it like the devil was in the dosage, right?
Right.
It's like number one, there are no human studies that show this. And all the studies that show it damaged your gut microbiome, they were done on petri dishes or on rats. And the amounts they used was equivalent to someone consuming was like 200 2-liter Diet Colas in one sitting.
Yeah.
Like you're just pounding them back to back.
Right.
Right. And it's like at that point you die from like water intoxication before the sucralose would ever kill you.
Yeah.
And people just don't get it. They just read a headline and they just go spout it off. And it's like, you're an idiot. So they actually did recently do a human study on sucralose and the human gut microbiome. And again, they had to use elevated amounts to see any significant difference. And the only people it affected, even at like huge amounts, were obese people that already had compromised gut microbiomes because they're eating processed foods and just fatty, super fatty foods. And so it's like, it's crazy to me, like, and you see the hypocrisy with a lot of these people because they're going to come yell at us and be like, you're destroying Americans because your products have sucralose in it. And I'll go to these people's feeds and they're like fucking 300 pounds and pictures of them eating big ass burgers. And it's like, that's the number one killer out there is these processed high fatty foods. Like heart disease is the number one killer in America.
Yeah.
And it's because our people's diets suck because they're ordering Domino's pizza every night and they're going to McDonald's. But you're going to claim sucralose is the killer? Like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. I was literally just talking to a client call the other day, and she was saying, well, I think that, using natural sugars in sodas are better than, like, using aspartame. And I'm like, but, like, you're, like, what are you talking about, though? Because you're going to just be getting all these calories. You're not getting any calories from these other ones. So is your body better off to have, 300 pounds that your heart's going to have to be trying to carry around, or are you going to just take the aspartame and still no calories? But yeah, it's the whole thing of they don't look into the dosage. My mom I was telling her, like, just drink some more protein shakes if you need something. Like, I love the Core Power ones, and she's like, those have sucralose in them, right? And I'm like, Mom, let me look at. I looked up the dosages of like how much sucralose, and it was like, I don't even know how much it was, but
it's
in
tiny.
one thing of the Core Power was like 0.04 sucralose.
Yes.
And I'm like, so what are you talking about, Mom?
That's the thing that people don't understand is like sucralose. They immediately see sucralose and like, oh my God. But sucralose is 700 times sweeter than actual sugar. Mm-hmm. So the amounts you use in anything is minuscule.
Yeah. It's
tiny. But it's going to taste damn good compared to like an organic alternative. And that's the big thing for me is like, I guess maybe I'm bullheaded, but like a product for me needs to taste good if I'm going to be taking it.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to drink like people are like, oh, it's always about the performance, but fuck that. Like I've had some horrible tasting organic stuff and like you try and pound it and you're like, ugh, like I don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Like I want my product to taste good. I want to get the effects from it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be in fear of my life. Like, dude, I look at all these studies out there, man. Like, there was a study that said drinking milk caused cancer. Like, that's fear mongering. Like, that's what all these studies are. Like, I choose to live life not in fear.
I'm pretty sure you can look up anything you want on the internet and find what's going to kill you.
Oh, dude.
That's a problem.
People can manipulate any study to any outcome they want.
Yeah, you have to look at the study, too, and who's funding it.
Right.
So,
it is what it is.
No, it's true because like I love all of like Jocko's books and everything, and so when he came out with his own line and like the drinks and stuff, he's like all natural, and I just drank it, and I'm like, I can't. I love Jocko, but I hate this product.
Yeah. So Jocko, they sent me some stuff too to do reviews on his protein. I was actually really
I like the milk. Yeah.
Yeah, milk. I was like, damn, he did a really good job with this. Naturally flavored, naturally sweetened. They use Reb M in theirs. Reb M and stevia, I think, or no, it is monk fruit, but. Tastes good.
Yeah.
Works good. But yeah, their pre-workout, I tried it and I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's not something
or like the energy drinks I wasn't a fan of.
But you aren't? I've never tried their energy drinks.
Yeah. I mean, that was a while ago. Maybe they went through a rendition, but the first when it first came out, it was like some tropic thunder. I don't know. It was like some kind of tropic thing. And so I was like, oh yeah, I love mangoes and stuff, and then it was just terrible. I was just dry scooping it and just going because I was just like, I can't
just choke it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's not the experience I want for my customers,
Dude, that M777 is sweet. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, I only did like a half scoop or a half serving. So one scoop, but I wasn't really going to go for the whole 400
Oh, you
grams.
bought that at the, yeah.
No, I didn't buy that at the bodybuilding. I used to buy. I bought it when it was like it looked like the casino. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
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 No, I love that stuff though. Yeah, because you were talking about earlier about when you were like mixing your creatine and stuff back when you were in the military. That made me think of the M777, how it's already got the creatine in it. And
yep. Everything all in one. Yeah, that's been our best seller. And that's the crazy thing. We launched that product. So yeah, definitely check out M777. It's the most loaded pre-workout on the market. Like, it holds that title. Won an award from Stack 3D as the most innovative pre-workout, one of the most innovative pre-workouts of last year. But it's, I was told by multiple people, like respected people in the industry, not to do it. Not to
mix like creatine and pre-workout together, or what?
No, just not to make M777.
Oh, really?
Yep. They were like, Price Plow. I was on their podcast not too long ago, but Ben over there was like, dude, don't do it. He was like, it's because I was excited. Like, we developed this formula. I was like, dude, nobody's going to be able to compete with this fucking formula. It's loaded, right? And I was like, and it's got these new active ingredients in it. It's like, it's going to be a game changer. And Ben was like, dude, don't do it. He's like, people are price conscious now. They're not going to want to spend $60 on a pre-workout. He was like, I'm telling you, it's going to flop. I had multiple other people, like people that were with other companies, like the VP of sales for Caged was like, dude, don't do it. And I was like, fuck it, we're doing it. Like, I did have like that anxiousness in the back of my mind, like maybe they're right. Like, what if this flops? Mm-hmm. And it's our best seller, like consistently every single month. We sell more M777 than anything else.
Have you seen anybody after you guys come out with this try and start integrating like creatine and different stuff?
So we weren't the first to do that. Like, there's other ones out there, like Rise Godzilla, and theirs is like a fully loaded, but their formula is like 36 grams serving size. Ours is 50.
Yeah.
And then Gorilla Mode, theirs is like 40. So there are other bigger dosed pre-workouts out there like it.
Yeah.
But like ours, which is like the same price as the Rise Godzilla or the Gorilla Mode, you're getting more out of it. But we have seen, there was then another company that came out and they were like, and they claim that theirs is the most loaded pre-workout now because it's a 52 gram scoop. But if you look at their active ingredients, like they just added more sweetener and stuff to it. So ours, by active ingredient profile, it's still the most loaded formula. But you could see and you could also see similarities in our formula versus theirs, but they didn't go all in on it.
I love it when people do like they think that you can't do it, and then you have that bet against me mentality. You're like, all right, I'm gonna fucking show you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's kind of changed our mentality going forward too. Like, we've already discontinued several products and we're replacing them. Like, we're going hard on all of our products now. So like, if it's like, now we won't launch a new product if it's just status quo. Like, honestly, some of our formulas have always just kind of been like, it's up there with. Now we won't make a new product unless it like is the best in the market.
Yeah.
It's like we have a new intra workout that we're launching here soon. And it's loaded and we're first to market with a couple new ingredients in it. Nobody else has. We'll be the first ones. But that's my mindset now with all the products we launch is I want every product to like dominate the industry.
If someone wants to try the sorry, I can't talk. Dietryne, company. What's like your top 4 stack that you would recommend?
Well, I mean, obviously M777, if that one's too potent for you, because it'll kick you in the nuts, then probably our Send It 3.0, that pre-workout's kind of like the step down from it. We have different levels of pre-workouts. We have like 4 or 5 different formulas out there to meet different lifestyle needs. But like either M777 or Send It. You said what?
Like, what's your top 4? You guys got protein, you got BCAAs.
Yeah, proteins are, protein is like an essential. But I always tell people, like, you want to, when it comes to protein, try and get it from your diet first. Like, try and load up on chicken, steak.
Yeah.
Like, use protein as
a supplement.
Yes, exactly. Like, use that for when you aren't able to hit your protein goals. And like I said, I start off every morning with 2 scoops, but I do that because when you're on Retta, it's hard to get all your calories in a day. So, but yeah, protein, always use it when you just can't hit your goals. And then the third one, obviously creatine. Like, everybody should be taking creatine.
And you guys got the flavored creatine.
Yeah, we came out with flavored because like we understand that, because there's some people that want to take creatine but they aren't necessarily like working out because of all the new studies with creatine, like what it does for like brain health, cognitive support, like even sleep deprivation. Like, it'll wake you up better than like caffeine.
Yeah.
So we realize there's people out there that want creatine, but if you just have an unflavored option, like, what are they supposed to mix it with?
Right.
And if you mix it with water, it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
Like unflavored. So we came out with some flavored versions so that way people can drink that.
Mixing it with that the flavor creatine with the EAAs was really good.
Was it?
I think we did that at the Memorial Day hike last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it's become a bestseller of ours. The flavored creatine, people love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got the EAAs and BCAAs, right?
No, so we're retiring the EAs and we're retiring our current Fuel Point because we have Fuel Point 2.0 that's coming. That's the new intra workout I was telling you about, and it's loaded. So it has, excuse me, it has all your EAs in it, all your carbs. It has your electrolytes. It's got like glutamine in it, coconut water powder, taurine. Like it's a loaded intra workout. Yeah.
I'll have to try that because I have not added an intra workout to my mix yet.
Yeah.
And I know I was just listening to, what was it? Was it Zach or Morgan? I don't know. One of the people at the Mecca or something. I don't know. But they were talking about. Oh no, it was Chelsea. Chelsea was just talking about it.
Oh, the Fuel Point.
Yeah, she was just talking about the intra workout and how it's like huge for gains. So I was like, man, I gotta do something. Yeah. But yeah, so I'll have to try that.
Dude, it's been a game changer. But yeah, we're clearing out our current lot of Fuel Point. You're talking about Chelsea Rogers, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that video she just posted
today, right? Yeah.
It was yesterday, I think.
Okay.
Right? But yeah, we collabed with her on it because we're trying to blow those out. So we have them on the site like $12 off right now. But yeah, the new version that's replacing it is just way more loaded. But dude, carbs are a huge, like a lot of people are afraid of carbs.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to lose weight. They feel like carbs are the enemy and they're not. Like carbs actually will probably give you more benefit than a pre-workout, to be honest with you. But everybody buys pre-workout because they want that energy. They want that pump.
Yeah.
And carbs will give you a pump too, believe me. But carbs, game changing for like if you train to failure, if you're training with any sort of intensity, you can amplify that intensity and get more out of your training with the right source of carbs. And I say right source of carbs because there's a lot of people that will go with like a cheap carb formula that they buy off of Amazon and stuff that's not like fast gastric emptying. They'll sit in your gut and then you get bloated and you get that stomach discomfort.
Yeah. You
need a fast gastric emptying source of carbs, which we have right now 2 of the fast gastric emptying carb sources on the market. But and I'll also see other people that like they'll break out the Rice Krispie treat in intra workout. They'll be like even the Mecca sells Rice Krispie treats, and they're like, hey, take this intra, but it's like that's bogus.
Like Sour Patch Kids, I've seen people keep those in their
Sour
gym bags.
Patch Kids, but same thing. Like with those, a source of carbs like those, it takes forever to get into your bloodstream. Mm-hmm. And so, like, you're not going to get the carb benefit from it. You might get that sugar rush from it.
Yeah.
You know, that sugar spike, that insulin dump. But the actual carb source isn't going to actually convert into glycogen for like about 60 minutes. At that time, you're already out of the gym. So if you have a fast gastric emptying carb source like our Fuel Point, it can convert to glycogen within minutes. Like we're talking like 5-10 minutes.
I'm going to have to definitely try that because I'm about to be in my building phase.
Yeah. Dude, it makes a world of difference. Like that ruck, for example, the first ruck we did, the 100-mile ruck with Mission 22 for veteran suicide.
Yeah.
When I hit mile 50, like I was completely done. And I was pounding water because I thought I was dehydrated. Mm-hmm. I was just pounding water and electrolytes. And I was like, guys, I think I'm done. Like I had nothing left in the tank. And we took Fuel Point, and because we had like a 10-minute break where we just sat down before we kept going, and I took like 50 grams of Fuel Point, and was like within minutes I was like, oh shit, like it's like instant energy. Like carbs are the body's natural source of energy.
Yeah.
And so it was like, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, this stuff really does fucking work. Like I was ready to go like within 10 minutes, and we continued on.
That's awesome.
Mission, but
I'm gonna have to get some of that and just make it like little single pouches for my hunting pack.
Yeah, dude, carbs. Even if you can get those gel packs, like that's what I use going back to that 12-mile ruck we did for aerosol.
Yeah.
I just had those little gel pouches. They were carbs in gel form.
Yeah.
You just suck those real quick.
Right.
I used those during my 12-mile ruck to help me, crush that. Like any good quality carb source would be great.
Yeah. I'll have to check those out for sure. I wanted just to touch real quick before we ended just on the name switch from UXO to Ditrion. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean for you, like the Ditrion company?
What does it mean for me?
Yeah, like what was the reason you wanted to change it?
Yeah, man, it was time. Like we went to, we've been doing this for a long time. And at one point we actually were at like the sales table. There was a much bigger fitness company that was looking at getting into supplements, and they wanted to buy us out and absorb our brand and which was smart for them because they're like a big apparel company.
Mm-hmm.
And having a supplement line would bring in that reoccurring revenue because people need supplements every month. But we couldn't come to agreement. And so we backed away. We both mutually backed away. But he told me, the owner of the company was like, hey, if I give you one piece of advice, he's like, you need to change the name of your company. He was like, to you, UXO means something, but to everybody else, it's just a 3-letter acronym and it doesn't mean shit. And I started seeing that over time. He told me that was like years ago, right?
Yeah.
So I started seeing that over the course of time, and I was like, man, he was kind of right. So we decided at one point to make the switch, and now ever since making the switch, like it's been a grind because I didn't realize, again, this goes back to making mistakes, right? We made this switch, but we were very thoughtful through the switch in the aspect that like we took the product to shows, like we took our apparel to shows before we ever made the change. I'm like, hey, what do you think of this? And we would sell out of the apparel. Like people loved the Die Trying moniker, the branding. They loved the hard, gritty look of it.
Yeah.
And for the most part, everybody loved it. There were a few that were like against it, like, no, man, keep it UXO, keep it UXO. But for the most part, like it was a resounding, like people loved it. And so like we made the change, but we didn't think through like SEO and stuff like that, like search engine optimization. Yeah. Everything was Die Trying. So it's like we started from ground zero with search engine optimization and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of hard work, and then trying to get rid of the UXO branding and rebuying like the trade show setups you see with all of our new branding. Like it was a huge investment. But now like it's taken off. Like our supplement sales are back up beyond where they were with UXO supplements. And now we're selling way more apparel than we ever have before. Like people love the apparel, because now it used to be like you had to be a fan of UXO supplements to buy a shirt. Now, like we have people that don't even take supplements but buy our shirts because they love it's more of like a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like Die Try & Co. It's not like a supplement company. It's
right.
like
something they can get behind whether they take supplements or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's been a good shift for us, and now it's like people can connect with the name. Like they hear the Die Trying company, it's like they automatically can associate with it.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't need an explanation of what it means.
Exactly. You know? And so it's been a huge change, and but it's been great. It's been really good.
Yeah,
for business.
Sick,
yeah.
Where's a good spot for people to catch up with you and follow you guys?
So they could follow me at for the Die Trying company, they can follow us on Instagram. We're on TikTok as well, and it's just Die Trying, no G, I think _co.
I'll put a link.
Yeah. And then myself, I go by Chopped Unk on TikTok, or just Jon Klipstein on IG.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Dude, I really appreciate you coming on. I know you got to bounce, but I appreciate everything and the wisdom, and we'll have to do this again.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I appreciate you having me on. It's a good time.
I love your guys' products, so I definitely recommend it to anybody. Like, I got to try the intro now, though. I'm really looking to add that to the stack.
Mid-July, the new one launches. So
cool. I'll be looking out for it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.